you have to be a fool if you doubt the reality of pain and anxiety, pain and terror, let's say. Are they real? It's like, well, of course, that's an ontological argument. They're real enough so you'll act like they're real if they come knocking. So maybe we can satisfy ourselves with that proclamation. And you say, well, are they the ultimate reality, pain and suffering? And that's a good question. That's a tough question. And I would say, no. The things that transcend pain and suffering are more real than pain and suffering. Well, what transcends suffering? The eternal verities transcend suffering. And the higher order nature of man is the antidote to catastrophic suffering. It's the antithesis of hell. Well, what is that? Is that real? Well, if pain and suffering are real, and if you can transcend them through allegiance with a higher order self, well, then the higher order self is obviously not only real, but more real. Well, what is that? Well, this is why Jung said Christ was a symbol of the self. How do you transcend the eternal realm of suffering, right? How do you escape from hell? It's the same question. How about voluntary self-sacrifice? How about that? Well, that's absolutely no different than the image of the crucifix. Those are the same thing. Well, why does the spirit of voluntary self-sacrifice protect you against suffering? Well, I need to sacrifice my idiot whims in the moment to serve that element of me that is continuous across time. This is like Kant's categorical imperative in some ways. If I'm wise and mature, then I don't make decisions now that will cost me tomorrow or next week or next month or next year or 5 years down the road. I contemplate my extended self, which is like a community across time, and I bind my decisions in the present by my covenant with my future self. And there's no difference between doing that. That means I sacrifice the whims of the moment to the optimization of the medium and long run. And I do the same thing in relationship to other people. Those are the same thing. There is no difference. This is a gospel equation in some ways. There is no difference between treating you properly and treating myself properly. And that's because in the final analysis, there's actually no difference between you and me. Well, not fundamental.